Hey guys, this is the second page of the study guide. The I can use data to draw inferences about a population. Number 9 says an internet company randomly selected 50 of its customers and asked them how many hours per week they use the internet. Of those surveyed, 28 use the internet more than 15 hours per week. Based on the data, if the company has 800 subscribers, how many use more than 15 hours per week? So what we're going to do is we're going to set up a proportion here. Since they only sampled 50 people out of these total 800, and 28 of those claim they use the internet more than 15 hours per week, we'll do 28 over 50 equals x over 800 because we want to know approximately how many out of 800 that would be. So we can cross multiply and divide 28 times 800 divided by 50, and that is approximately 448 subscribers use more than 15 hours of internet per week. Alright, number 10. A survey of 2,000 registered voters is used to predict by how many percentage points a candidate is leading. Of the 2,000 people, 1,240 plan to vote for candidate A. By how many percentage points is candidate A leading? So we got to see, so we can set up another proportion. 1,240 over the total 2,000. Since it's a percentage, we want to put x over 100 because percents are over 100. Then we take 1,240 times by 100 divided by 2,000, and that will get us 62%. Plan on voting for candidate A. If 62% are planning on voting for candidate A, we can get candidate B by taking 100 minus 62, so 38% plan on voting for B. So figure out by how many percentage points candidate A is leading. Take 62%, subtract 38%, and that would be 24%. So that is number 10. Alright, this is one that a lot of people seem to be having trouble with. It says a random sample from 6th and 7th grade student population was taken to determine which clubs were the most popular. Use the table at the right to answer the question. So it says there are 280 6th graders and 200 7th graders. How many more 7th graders are involved in the yearbook? So we can do a couple portions here. So let's start with the 6th graders. So 10, 24, and 6 added together looks like they took a sample of 40 6th graders, and 10 out of those 40 picked yearbook. So then we could do x over 280 because that's how many total 6th graders there are. Cross multiply 10 times 280 divided by 40, and that would give us approximately 70. And then we can do the 7th graders, which would be 18. This is 18, 20, 38, 2, 40. Look like they sampled 40 7th graders, so 18 out of 40 equals x over 200 because there's 200 7th graders. And we'll cross multiply and divide 18 times 200 divided by 40 equals 90. So then finally, if we take 90 minus 70, approximately 20 for 7th graders. Alright, so what percent of 6th graders are involved in the yearbook club? You could do 10 over 40, which gets you 0.25, which is 25%, or you could do 70 over 280, which get you 0.25, which is also 25%. Number 13, the school decides to drop any club in which less than 5% of the population is signed up for. Should any of the clubs be dropped? So let's see here. So only 8 people. 8 people signed up jump rope, and that would be 8 out of, let's see, 40 here and 40 there. So that's 8 out of 80. So if we divide that 8 divided by 80 equals 10%, 0.12, which is 10%. So 8 out of 80. Alright, but if we do it the other way, so if we included everybody in the population, so 6 over 40 equals X over 6th graders, 280. So that would be 6 times 280 divided by 40. So that would be 42. And then for the 7th graders would be 2 over 40 equals X over 200. So that would be 2 times 200 is 400 divided by 40 would be 10 people. So if we add 42 and 10, do that would be 52, and the total would be what? 280 plus 200 in all, so that's 480 students. So let's see here. 52 divided by 480 equals about 11%. 0.11, which equals 11%. So it doesn't look like any of these clubs are going to need to be dropped. Alright, let's go down here into the last 2 on this page. Following data set represents the number of dollars customers withdrew at any ATM. So $20 means 10 people withdrew $20, 5 people withdrew $40, 2 people withdrew $60, and 1 person withdrew $80, 2 withdrew $100, and 0 withdrew $120. So in order to get the mean, you can just add those all up. So basically you would need to take 200 times, or 20 times 10, which would be 200. You could take 40 times 5, which would be 200. 60 times 2, which is 120. And you could take 80 times 1, which is 80. 100 times 2, which is 200. So in all, you're looking at, so 400, 520, 600, 800. So 800 divided by 20. So the median here, withdrawal is 40. And when you order these, I believe that's the mean. When you order, so you would have to list out 1020s, 540s, 260s, 180, and 200s. When you do that, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the median is 30. Alright, so the last one on this page, number 15, these are not in order, but in order to find median, you don't necessarily need to order them to find mean, but you do need to order them to find median. So in order to find mean, you just add them all up and then divide them by, let's see, what are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 numbers in the set. So that would be, when you add those up, you get 768 divided by 12, which is 64. So this median is 64, or this mean is 64. Now when you order these, the two in the middle will be 61, 65, because it's an even amount of numbers, so you would take the two in the middle, so you would take numbers 6 and 7, which would be 61 and 65, and combined that averages out to be, so if you do 61 plus 65 divided by 2, that will equal 63, and that is your median, 63. The key to the problems like this one and this one, you have to put them in order, and you have to make sure you have every number in the list. So, like, whenever you put a number down, make sure you cross it off so you know that you've already listed that one. And like these ones over here, if there are 10 20s, you have to list all 10 20s, all 5 40s. Okay, can't skip any numbers. They all need to be in there. All right, so that is the second page. I hope this helps.